What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Wangari Mwangi. I'm a rising sophomore at Harvard College. I make college related content. I'm a fashion YouTuber. I'm a lifestyle vlogger. Content baby, content. Anyway, welcome to today's video in the complete college application guide for international students, where I give you guys the tips, tricks, informations and strategies to successfully navigate the US college application as an international student like myself, like I once did. So today we're talking about timeline. When should you start applying for college? When should you finish applying to these colleges? And what should you be doing in what months? When I was going through the process, I didn't have an idea of what I should be doing each month. I kind of knew the deadlines, but I didn't know how early I should start preparing for things, how late I should finish. For me, the application was from August to December, but for you guys, because you have this information, you can be able to start even earlier than I am and put in more time into your application. So as usual, I'll be looking down at my iPad, okay? By the way, we're back in my bedroom where it all began. We have a full house today at home, so I'm back to filming in my bedroom. When is the right time to start applying to colleges abroad and in the US specifically? So it depends on how early you're exposed to the US college admissions. If you learn about the application process in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, you're at an advantage because you can start in Form 1, in Form 2, in Form 3. If you're like me and you have learned about the US college application process after high school, that's completely fine. You may need to take a gap year, or you may need to balance your first year of college with applying, and that's completely fine. You can still do it. My advice for the right time to start applying to college would be the second last year of high school. And I say this because the second last year of high school is kind of like a sweet spot where you have enough time to dedicate to classes, SATs, and extracurriculars, but still be in your mind prepping for deadlines and stuff that are coming the following year. If I could do it again, I would do the SAT in December Form 3, because in Kenya, your long holiday starts in November. So you're at home the whole of November, the whole of December. Sindio? So what you should do in third term doesn't have that many activities because of KCSE, and so schools are not like, there are no tournaments and stuff like that. I may be wrong and it may have changed in the 3 years I've been out of high school. But in third term, when you're in school, have SAT books with you. So start studying for the SAT in third term Form 3. And then when you come home, November, dedicate your whole November to doing SAT stuff. Like if you have holiday homework, that's fine. Either do it in school or do it like the last week of December. This is the one time I'm going to tell you to procrastinate your homework. But you can procrastinate your school homework until after the SAT. I say Form 3 December because that gives you time to retake the SAT. In fact, if you even can, take it in August. The SAT is valid for 2 years. So even if you apply the year after Form 4, it's still valid. So what is the correct amount of time to spend applying to these schools? There's no correct amount of time. There may be a wrong amount of time. Like 1 month is not enough. You won't do a good job in 1 month. But my advice is 9 months. 6 months to submit your essays and your Common App, and then you have 2 months after that to work on your interviews and to work on your financial aid stuff, because most financial aid deadlines are after the normal deadlines. So I would say, like, start now. Like if you want to go to the US in September 2022, start now. If you've not started, like, finish this video and then go and start, because bro, what are you waiting for? You'll be left behind. Start now. A question I get a lot related to timelines is, can I change schools midway? Like you have a list of schools you want to apply to, and that's the essays you're working on those profiles, and then you do the SAT, and then let's say you get a higher score than you planned, so you aim for higher schools, or you get a lower score than you planned and you aim for lower schools. Can you change your school list midway? Yes, absolutely, 1000%. You can absolutely change your schools midway. Will you have a few essays that you'll have written that won't be used anymore? Yes, but I'm all about repurposing essays. You can always rewrite an essay in a slightly different way to fit the other schools that you're going to add or remove from your list. When should you have finalized your application? Like, when should you be done? So I don't know about this question. I submitted my application literally like 4 hours to the deadline. Like the deadline is January 1st, 11:59 p.m. EST. I submitted my application January 1st, like 8:59 p.m. EST. Like, I was sweating. This one of the systems almost crashed and I almost cried. I almost gave up. It was for MIT. I almost cried. My portal wasn't working. I called my ancestors. I just channeled all the ancestral spirits so that they can help me get this computer working, because my portal was not working. So I would say, yeah, by December 15th, yeah, try and have everything done by December 15th. Yani, if the Common App says the deadline has been moved to December 15th, you're ready. So December 15th, have your Common App fully done, have your activities fully done, have your honors done, have your recommendations sent, have your transcript sent, have your essays written, have your essays somewhere in a Google Doc ready to go. Please don't write your essays in Common App. Don't write your essays in Common App. Write your essays in Google Docs, and then when you're going to submit, you'll copy paste into Common App, okay? Have everything ready by December 15th so that you can just like have the security of knowing that you have these 10 days where anything can happen. You can add a school in that time. Like, I have friends who added schools the last 5 days to the deadline. You can add a school. You can find out anything you might have forgotten. You can fix anything. And I would say submit your application on December 31st instead of January 1st, because systems hang, systems crash. There are, like, imagine like 40,000 people submitting their applications to one school. No. Like, Common App is used by like 1 million people. Imagine 1 million people logging into a website at the same time trying to submit like 10,000 things. Like, that system is going to crash definitely, and it does sometimes. So I would say be done, give yourself a hard deadline of December 15th, and then submit your application on December 31st. As for your papers, your recommendations, your transcript, have them by October. Like, me, I don't care. Have them by October, because getting letters of recommendation is stressful. So set a deadline for yourself, October, latest November, because again, if you're planning to do early action, you have to have all these documents by November 1st to, like, early action deadlines are November 1st to November 15th. So have all your documents by latest November 1st. So let's actually start looking at the year. This timeline I'm giving starts from January 1st, 2021 to January 1st, 2022. So I'm giving you the year, like just like the year before. Sawa. I can make another video talking about things you can do to help your application, like before you actually start applying and before, like in advance, like what you can do in your second year or your third year. I've made a video about this actually. High school tips for students who want to study abroad. Go watch that video if you want to see things you can be doing before this actual year. But let's start. So it's January 1st, 2021. Happy New Year. Yay, the year just started. And you need to apply to college. So what do you do? So January to June, those first 6 months, I've put them together because they're kind of slow. So January to June, you should be researching schools. So at this point, you should be getting familiar with schools. You should be knowing a couple of schools in the US. Sometimes I get DMs from people and I'm like, okay, so what schools do you think of applying to? And they're like, I'm thinking of Harvard and Yale. And I'm like, cool, what other schools? They're like, I don't know any other schools. And I'm like, are you joking me? You don't know any other schools? Can you stop joking? The number of times I will refer people to Google. Guys, we live in the information age. Open Google. Kila mtu, open Google. Okay, open it. It's open. You see it. Top 50 US schools. Read them. Read. Those are 50 schools. Top 100 US schools. Read them. Top 150 US schools. Read them. Top 200 US schools. Read them. Okay? If you want to do art, top 100 US art schools. Read them. How are you going to apply to schools and you don't know the schools? Anyway, January to June, research on schools. When you start, you'll have a lot of schools. Like when I started, I had a list of the top 100 US colleges. Like I had a list. Like I wrote them out on a piece of paper. Top 100 schools. Then I went out cancelling the public ones because I knew public schools won't give me financial aid. I remained with, let's say, 50. And then I cancelled out schools in the South. So I removed schools in the South, cancelled out schools in the South. And then I was remaining with schools in the Northeast and in California for some reason. And then I had some schools in Washington, like Washington State, Washington Lee. Anyway, so I remained with maybe like 40 schools, and then I went to the websites of those 40 schools and cancelled out the ones that I didn't like, and then I had like maybe 30 schools, and I was like, cool, these are 30 schools that I can apply to. So that's what you should be doing January to June, researching schools and narrowing down your list until you can make your perfect college application list. I've made a video on this. Go watch it. Have you watched it? Have you watched it? People DM me, Sandra, how do I choose which colleges to apply to? Sandra, the US has 3,000 schools. How do I know which ones to apply to? Have you watched my video? How can I give you all the information. You don't want to take it. Why? Why? Moving on. You should start studying for the SAT. If you plan on taking the SAT, you will have a few opportunities between January and June. You'll have March, May, and June. 3 chances to take the SAT. So you don't have to take the SAT that early if you're not ready. Give yourself time to study. This is the optimum time to study for the SAT because as I've said, this is a bit of a slow time. There's not much happening. There's not much talk about college applications in January to June. So this is a time you can put your head down and study for the SAT. So if you plan on taking the SAT, study during these 6 months. Next, open a Gmail account. I've said in my previous videos, have a Gmail account. Open your College Board account, open your Common App account, start looking through them, start seeing how a Common App profile looks, get yourself familiar with College Board and all the aspects of it. There's the SAT registration part, there's the CSS profile part, there's the iDoc part. Get yourself familiar with these sectors and these areas of the application. People who are really planned out with their life have started looking for letters of recommendation. If you can get your letter of recommendation between January and June, that's great for you. Also, if you're Kenyan, which most of you are, by the way, habarizenu, this is the time when teachers are not busy because Form 4s are not yet busy yet. So if you can get your recommendation, why am I punching my hand? Who am I angry at? If you can start asking your teachers for recommendations in that time, they're not that busy and they won't be as annoyed with you as if you ask in like October when they're struggling to get Form 4s to study for KCSE. So start asking for letters of recommendation, and then also start asking for transcripts similar to letters of recommendation. At that time, teachers are not that busy in Kenyan curriculum, so this is the time to go back and annoy them and ask them for a transcript. July, we're now in July 2021. That's right now. That's what you should be doing right now as we speak. Okay, number 1, for real, start studying for the SAT. Like, you're doing it in October. Have you started reading? July, August, September, October. You have 4 months to the SAT. You want to go to Sijui which Ivy, but you're not studying. Why? For what? Yale won't take you if you're not serious with your life. Okay, Yale is looking for serious people only. JK, I don't know what Yale is looking for, but seriously, start studying for the SAT. Next, continue asking teachers for your letters of recommendation. Go and ask for your transcripts. Go and get your KCSE result slip from NEC. If you're still in school, that's fine. Result slip utapata ikikuja. Don't worry, you'll have time to submit it. But if you've already done KCSE, go and get your result slip. Start talking about financial documents with your parents. So if you've been raised in a typical Kenyan household or even African household like I have, you have no idea how much money your parents make. You have no idea how much your electricity bill is. You have no idea how much money comes in and out of the family. Yeah, you need to start asking. Yeah, the day I sat down with my dad and I was like, yeah, Dad, so how much do you make? How much does Mom make? How much taxes do you pay? How much is the house? How much is water? How much is electricity? Do you have a car loan? Do you have a bank loan? How much is school fees? How much is shopping? How much is entertainment? How much do you spend a month on entertainment? Sema ukweli. Sema tu ukweli. He was very annoyed with me and I had to explain to him. Like, either you tell me all these things or you look for 8 million a year to take me to Harvard. Like, I don't know. Like, you choose. Either you give me all the information that I need for finances or you find 8 million somewhere, 32 million actually for 4 years, and you take me to Harvard. Like, it's an either-or situation. JK, don't take that strategy with your parents if they're not as analytical as mine. Get your tax returns, get bank statements. Go and start asking your banks for bank statements. If you need an M-Pesa statement, start telling your parents, look, on this day, I'll need you to print out for me your M-Pesa statement. On this day, I'll need you to print out for me information about the car. I'll need to know how much money we spend on groceries. I'll need to know how much money we spend on water, on electricity. And so I don't know I don't know if like your parents know this information off the top of their head, but mine needed some time to like actually calculate and be like, oh, for real, like how much money do we spend, like an exact amount, because you need an exact amount. So I gave them some time to like look at their finances so that they can get back to me. So yes, start talking to your parents about finances. I know it's hard and it's kind of weird to know how much money your parents make and how much money they spend on various things, but it is a necessary evil. So in August, you have another chance to take the SAT. I think they started administering the August SAT internationally, so that's good. You can take the SAT if you'd like. August 1st, common application opens. The day thousands of students are waiting for. On August 1st, the common application profile for your year opens. So I've said this before, don't fill in the common app before August 1st because you'll be doing zero work. So August 1st, it opens. Now you can start filling in your profile for the whole of August. You can start adding schools to your profile. You can start asking for waivers. If you need a financial aid waiver, you have to ask for it through the Common App. People ask me, how do you do this? There's a section in the Common App profile, yeah, that asks you for an application waiver, and then there are options. And then the option that applies to internationals is something about finances, and then on your counselor's side, yeah, your school counselor will have their own side of the Common App. They will say, yes, this student does require. So your account and your counselor's account are linked. And so when you ask for a waiver, they corroborate your story and then you'll get a waiver. Like you can ask for all schools, it's fine. If you need a CSS waiver, so when you're submitting your financial aid documents via the CSS, you have to pay $16 per school, I think. Either $16 or $12. That's still a lot for some people. So you need to ask for what is called CSS codes. So email the schools you're applying to, physically email the school and ask them for CSS codes. They don't give codes to everyone, so you have to say that you really require them and ask in advance, like right now, so that you can get them and use them in December and January when you're filling out your CSS profile. Continue thinking about what schools you want to apply to. You should be narrowing down your college list. Start brainstorming ideas for your personal statement, okay? The prompts for all the schools are out. You can start thinking about which essays you want to write. Start brainstorming ideas in August. Continue working on your personal statements. The deadlines are coming up. Start working on the supplemental essays. So apart from the personal statement, you have the supplemental essays. So you should be working on the supplemental essays at this time. Start brainstorming ideas. They're small essays. Some of them you can reuse the same idea for different schools. So start planning that out. SAT studying should be in hyperactive mode. Okay, the SAT is in a few weeks. It's in October, the first weekend of October. You should be studying vigorously at this moment. You should know which 10, 15 schools you're applying to by this point. There's no worry, you can always change. But by September, at least know which 10 schools you're sure you're going to apply to. Continue collecting your documents. Please, let September and October be the latest that you're still collecting documents, because you don't want to be in a situation where deadlines are coming and you don't have documents. And also documents take a while to process, especially if you're mailing them, like physically mailing them. You need to give it time for them to get halfway across the Atlantic. Start deciding which school you want to apply to, early action or early decision, because the deadlines are literally in a few weeks. Early action and early decision schools make me nervous because the deadlines are early, but I mean, that's the whole point. And so if you know you want to do EA or ED, this is the time to narrow down which school you want to apply to. And if you're applying early action or early decision, October is your last chance to take the SAT. So you should really be working hard to get a good score on the SAT. Now we're in October, things are getting hot, things are heating up. The SAT. Take the SAT in October. Please, if you can, let SAT be the last time you take let October be the last time you can take the SAT. You'll still have another opportunity in December, but in December, you'll be doing so many things at the same time. You'll be doing your SAT studying and you'll be working on your essays. So if you can finish the SAT stuff by October, you know, that's an advantage to you. Have all your documents, like literally, like I've said, like bro, October and you don't have documents. Like, stop joking. You should have your transcript, you should have your letters of recommendation, you should have everything you need document wise. And for your financial documents, you should at least by now have discussed it with your parents and gotten an agreement from them that they will give you these documents by this date. But seriously, like on a serious note, have all your documents by October latest. Finalize your essays for ED and EA. The deadlines are the first week of November. So in October, you should really be focusing on your supplementary essays for your ED/EA school. Finally, in November, we are almost done. Thank God, early action is here. Early decision is here. The first week, November 1st to November 15th, is when the deadlines are. So at this point, you should be you should be submitting things. Like, you should be having all your documents. You should be having your SAT score. You should have filled out your Common App. You should have done all your essays. You should simply be submitting your early action or early decision schools. December is the hottest month. It is the hottest month of them all. Deadlines are coming up. This is your final chance to take the SAT. You should polish all your essays at this point. I've told you guys, give yourself a deadline of December 15th to have polished your personal statement, to have polished all your supplementary essays. I'm not even going to talk about documents because I believe that you will have had your documents by October. So in December, it will simply be a matter of scanning documents and sending them. Scanning documents and sending them. There'll be no stress in December about documents. In the last half of December, towards the deadline, you'll be double checking everything. The last 2 weeks of December, it's crunch time. Everything needs to be done. Everything needs to be submitted. Everything needs to be polished. Go over everything. And on January 1st, oh, we agreed December 31st. On December 31st, as the new year is coming in, as the new year is about to dawn, you will be submitting all your documents. You will be submitting everything, and you will watch the countdown, and we'll enter 2022, and you will be done. You will be waiting to hear back from your colleges now. Imagine. Let me tell you, the feeling of relief when you submit everything is simply ecstatic. I think I almost cried because I was just like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I didn't celebrate Christmas. I didn't celebrate my birthday. I didn't celebrate anything. I was just doing essays the whole of December. And so the feeling of relief of submitting everything was so amazing. And I felt satisfied with myself because I knew I had done my best. So I hope that has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching. This is a long video because I've been speaking for quite a while. I hope it was helpful to you guys. If you've not subscribed, subscribe. It's free. It's free and you get a cookie. Okay? An internet cookie, but it's still a cookie. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, thanks. Bye.